Hi, it's David here with Future Trade. I wanted to come back and give you the information that I had to leave out earlier in the video that I shot 6 hours ago. I want you to keep that number in mind, 6 hours ago, because it has everything that I expressed in that video. It has everything to do with time. All right. Because I talked about time in this video, and that's why you got to stay in your trade. Time is a very crucial part of whether or not you'll become a profitable trader, and I want to stress that to you by showing you, because if I show it to you, it's proven to you, and then of course you build on the confidence side and it becomes truth. And so truth is something that you cannot ignore once you see it for yourself. All right, so I put it here, and I told you I would put it here in the universal price action trend section. And I told you that I would put it in the trading psychology section. All right. So it's the stay in your trade psychology. Stay in your trade psychology. So here, I see you guys have watched it a little bit here. Hopefully, you'll watch it some more. Now, I do suggest you pause this video, go back and look at that. It's about, I don't know, 7, 8 minutes. It's not that long. Go back and look at that so you can see exactly where the chart is at. I'll reference it and tell you where it was at, but it may be a little bit better for you to see it for yourself where it was at. All right. Now, I stated to you in the video earlier that, of course, I train people too, at my leisure, only a couple of months because I have other, things that I do. I have an agenda that's full of other appointments and things that I have to take care of. But I do train people still. I do. Now, I gave you a price level in this video for Bitcoin. I gave you a price level just to add to the whole experience of looking at the chart. So I told you that there was a price level and that if they're going to stay bullish, that's the price level that they will want to close above today. Now, keep in mind that was 6 hours ago, and you can go back in this video and look at the bar timer. Well, not the bar timer, but the clock in the upper left corner of the chart. I suggest you go back and take a look. I promise you, it was like 12:20 something when I started the video, close to 12:30. It's now 6:45. All right, and we're going to take a look at that. Now, confidence is why I'm bringing this information back to you because it's all about trust. And of course, you don't want to be excessively believing something without any kind of regard for failure. You don't want to do that because that's arrogance. That's the contrast to the confidence. Now, I told you in the video earlier that this is the number one component to trading. Success in trading, especially when it comes to the trend. So that's why you have to really regard this piece. And this is the only sentence in this whole definition that of the word is what I want you to focus in on. I love reading the dictionary, and I told you that in the prior video. I love reading dictionary. So time is the continued sequence of existence and events that occurs in an apparently irreversible succession from the past. Now, this is the key: from the past through the present into the future. You have to stay in your trade. Now, let's take a look at that chart. All right. So it's important you know the definition. And we're going to talk about what all of that is in just a second. All right. So this is the information that I left off with. And I think price was right here and they had just made a trend back up. They had just made a trend back up. And I told you that this is about the target distance. And whoever was up here trying to sell, it may not work because they're making another trend back that way. But I did give you the projected target for the downside because they made a trend down. Also, I gave you that price level up at 936.5. Okay, 936.5, which is up here, and this is a price level for today. I told you that, because whenever I train people, I give them information that, of course, I can't give the public, but it's along the same lines of simplicity. It's nothing complicated. I don't make things convoluted. It's very, very simple how I approach markets, and it's effective. Every day I do the same thing over and over and over again. So I teach them before you place a trade, know where the ceiling and the floor is at. All right. So I gave you the ceiling. I gave you the ceiling. I told you, hey, 936, that's an important price level. And the buyers, if they're gonna, close today bullish, they need to get above this price. Now, clearly, sellers can step in right before it or slightly above it, but by the end of the day, 936.5 is important. Now, I told you that 6 hours ago. And I purposely did this so I can come back and make this video and show you the proof that you need so you can have confidence when it comes to trading and holding the trend. I want you to be able to hold your trend trades and stay in them for as long as you possibly can and get as much as you can possibly get out of them. So that way, when you lose, it wouldn't even matter. All right. So, of course, we did our uptrend. We did our uptrend and they went the distance of the uptrend. Go back and watch the video. You can see all of that. We talked about all of that. And then they made this downtrend. And I did say, hey, once they make this distance up here, they could, get past here if you're trying to be a counter trend trader. And so they leaned back for half the trend. Okay. Came back half the trend, and that's important. but they didn't get back up there. So I told you both trends can't remain on the board. One has to go. Now let's go look at the definition again. All right, side by side with this information that they put on the chart. This is time. It's the continued sequence of existence and events that occur in an apparently irreversible, this is the most important part, irreversible succession from the past. This is the past. That's why you need to know what your trend is first before you start trying to trade through the present and when you decide to take your trade and into the future. And that's the part where you got to hold your trade. You got to hold it. And I mean, hold it and don't let go no matter what they're trying to convince you of. Don't let go. Now, here's the part of trying to convince you of. Here it is right here. You get down here to this bottom. Here's a bar up. There's another one. So that's two. Here's three. And there's four. Now that started around about, let's say, 2 o'clock. It's now, let's look at the clock. That started about 2 o'clock. It's almost 5 hours later. All right. Where is our 7 bar trend to go up? It's not there. Okay. And so from earlier, 6 hours ago, okay, 6 hours ago, they was up here at 12:30. It's almost 7 o'clock. And they was up here and I stopped the video. It was about when I stopped the video, it was about 12:38. So it's 6:50 now in Eastern Standard Time, PM. We're in the East Coast here. They managed to go down really fast and accelerated on down there. And then, of course, there's no uptrend. Went almost halfway to this rundown, almost. And then, of course, just stalled everybody out and accumulating, beating them. I mean, just beating them up. I don't trade Bitcoin. I don't. But I told you, everything that I do is very systematic. I'm a self-taught trader, been doing it for years. Everything that I do is very systematic, and I provide, of course, this kind of interaction to my students, the people that I train. Okay, I make sure that they can see the market very objectively. This is the free stuff. And again, I know before I place trades, I know where the ceiling and the floor is going to be at before I even get started. That's important for me to even put my money at risk. How far do you plan to go? And of course, you can go beyond where those price levels are at. It's just whether or not you're going to end that day in that vicinity. That's important. And so when I tell you there's a ceiling and a floor to every market, you just have to know what it is before they get started. Now, of course, I gave you an idea. I gave you an idea of where it could happen at, where it could happen at. Because again, I try to make sure that information that I provide is robust enough that you can benefit. So you can take those trading ranges and occasionally, it won't be all the time. Occasionally, I can't give you what makes it work. Occasionally, those ranges will land on those price levels. All right. Well, the price level for the day, the price level, the place that the market needs to close at that day. Occasionally, the range will land right on it. All right. And so if you look up here, the overnight range level was just above, I believe, that 936.5. It was just above it. And that's that overnight range. It was just above it. Now, clearly they got to what, 12 o'clock tonight. They can, let's see if they can get back up there, but again, that's that 936.50. And I wanted to make sure I come back and tell you that because when I promote a idea to you about time, this is how you benefit in markets. This is how you do it. You have to stay there and of course get as much as you can because you will take a loss. If you don't believe you'll take a loss, that's you not regarding the potential for failure. And so what winds up causing the problem is that you're not holding the trade long enough. And I want to rid you of that issue of you getting out of your trade and not taking all profits. All right. So I wish you all the best with your trading. Take care.